Click here to open the browser. No, thank you. With guests. All right, guys, we're back. Today we are showing our viewers how to, with 2 easy steps, how to make tons of money every year added to your income. Have you ever made just like 2 figures?
No.
Well, you can add 2 figures to your 4-figure income.
Ooh.
That's right. You can add an extra 2 figures. That's it. It's ta-da. 2 easy steps. This is not late night television, folks. This is not the question mark suit guy. Government giveaway. Like, it is government giveaway, but so we're gonna go around the room. I'm Kevin. June could not join us tonight, well, at least in this session. We've got Tim the bartender, and Trevor. We never came up with a title for you. Trevor the opera singer. Trevor the
retail
manager.
Sure.
Store manager.
I'm the guy.
The guy. The dude.
The dude. I'll be the dude.
All right. Well, we had a video. We were doing an interview with Trevor, and we're still editing the footage of that. But because of Trevor's baby steps, he's not drinking booze tonight. And if he is hungry, this is what he gets to eat. It's a Cheerios. It's for my kids. So that's in case you get hungry. It's baby steps, and trust works in 2 ways. They may be stale.
A bit stale, but they're delicious.
I checked them first. There's no silverfish or anything you'd see. Like
protein.
Yeah.
Protein.
So today's topic is the learned income credit, or as other people call it, the earned income credit, and how all you have to do is get somebody pregnant, work a minimum wage job, have your boss cut your hours to like 12 hours a week, 20 hours a week, and you just get an extra 10 grand at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Sweet. Which is awesome because, you know, like you work, you know,
Who
40,000.
Yeah.
Who couldn't use 10 grand, right? Like, you know, that people at the top, you know, they need an extra 10 grand for their Coke budget, right?
Sure.
No, but we give it to the people who need a crack budget. So
Right.
that's,
Exactly.
But who wants to pop off first?
I don't have any kids, so kind of deferring, hoping to learn a little bit as we go here.
Sure.
And I have a child, and I have stepchildren, but I make too much money to get a learned income credit. So
We need to learn you better.
I need to become more educated on how to learn to get the money. So.
Yeah, so some people are disqualified for it because they make too much money. And so at the top, as I was saying to you guys before we started, at the top, what ends up happening is they wanted this to be like, all right, well, you made this little amount of money, but you've got kids to support, and you don't make enough at work, so we're going to subsidize your income with this, you know, like big refund. Not what you paid back, not what you paid in, it's what you paid in, and then a buttload more.
Right.
And then you turn around, and like states don't recognize that as income. So they're like, oh, these people make this small amount of money, so let's give them food stamps and health insurance and
Based on that
amount
of income.
Right. And then the state again and the IRS look at it and say, well, we can't count that as income because, you know, they needed that to survive. And then they just base it solely on the smaller amount of low income that they have, and then all of a sudden, so it neither counteracts the other. And so you get people that are just, you know, they've got free food for their whole family. They've got free health insurance, which
free
is
housing.
Free housing. They can just, you know, work a little bit so they can, you know.
And it's come down to a science where they know if I work 32 hours for 6 months, and then I go to my boss and say, oh man, I gotta, you know, my kid's gotta have some help with doing something, so I need to go down to part-time completely, so like 15 hours a week. So now they're making it so I don't make too much money, so I don't get the earned income credit passed on, but I don't make enough money, so I will definitely get the earned income. And the interesting part about that is they're working, they're getting money, which they're paying taxes on, but they're also getting, based on how many children they have, it's up to $10,000 a year on top of that. Let's say that they're qualifying for free healthcare, they're qualifying for food stamps, and assistance. Maybe they have reduced rent through Section 8 housing, So
Or just another social program.
or just another social
right,
program.
correct.
Yeah, but some type of program that's state funded.
Right.
So now the year circles around, they file again, and I pay rent, I pay health insurance, I pay.
And health insurance can decimate a family.
Oh my, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. So if you make too much money, then you have to pay for health insurance, and then now, like, where's your help? Where's your backup?
where is it? Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
And you're talking $10,000 out of premiums just for a family of six or
Yeah.
8.
Like you could use an earned income credit just to pay off your health insurance.
Your health insurance, and that's not including your copays and any of your premiums that you have to pay previous
Deductibles
your deductibles and everything. So you're thinking
My kids have bone like glass, so I have to get glass policy on our health insurance. So like
Right, yeah.
that glass
And they're still
deductible is
deductible,
killer.
right?
Yeah, it's a glass deductible. Yeah. Shatter all the windows in my kids. Like
Right. But it's just it's crazy to me because you can earn, let's say they earn $22,000 a year, they're getting on top of that healthcare, food, housing of some sort, which probably equals $30,000. So they're getting they're making $55,000 a year, but every year we give them another 20, in the long run, $20,000 or $30,000 of free assistance.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to blow.
Just to blow. Hey, let's go to Walmart and buy a new big screen TV because we have a 55-inch in the living room that's
Not
a
big
year
enough.
old,
Yeah.
but they came out with a 75-inch, so let's go get
curved.
that. And it's got some curvage.
Last Thursday was what I like to call free government TV giveaway day. It was the first day that the IRS released the earned income credit to early filers.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not realize this until I had to go to the store with cash money that I worked hard for to buy juice and milk for my children because we ran out at the house. So I bought a 2-liter of apple juice and a gallon of milk. And I got in line, and the self-checkout was all the way back to the deli. So we're talking like 40 feet, 50 feet of people waiting to do the self-checkout, which is like 12 registers. And so I hopped in another line, and there was still 10 people in front of me on just a regular cashier, and I want to say I was in line for like half hour, just talking with a lady that was behind me, and she owned her own business as well, and she was the only other person in that line that didn't have a TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody had a TV. Like electronics got bombarded that day, and it was ridiculous. Like I'm just trying to buy a gallon of milk. Like where's the I'm not buying an electronics purchase?
Yeah, make a special line or something.
Like I was half tempted to walk back to electronics because all they were doing was handing the TVs to people, and like I could have just said, "Hey, instead of getting me a TV, can you just ring me out on this cash register, give me a receipt, and I'll walk to the front of the store?" Because nobody's paying for it at the electronics. Right. I could have done it there, or probably at jewelry. Do they do it at jewelry?
They do ring out in jewelry. The problem is the staffing is reduced substantially, which could be because they're wanting an earned income credit, so they've talked about getting somebody to, hey, can you reduce my hours? Which there's 2 parts to that story, and I'm on a double-edged sword here because I know both sides. But I can tell you sales increases in the month of March have always been substantial, and ordering.
Yeah, and then the first of the month, you roll around the corner, like boom.
Yeah, grocery's going to have a comp sales. Electronics is.
So wait a minute, we skipped a week. So I'm sorry, it wasn't last Thursday. It was the Thursday before that. So it was like the 22nd of February.
Yeah, the 21st is when they officially released. So it was the week before.
So it was the 22nd. The 22nd. So then 1 week later was the 1st of March, and boom. So so Wally World made a killing.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and that's just it. I mean, and it's not just Walmart. I'm sure
like this is money laundering. Like they're just saying, hey, they have lobby groups in government being like, you can't get rid of these social programs because big corporations like Walmart would lose because like 90% of their income comes from government funding. Which it doesn't come from government funding because the government hands it to the people, and the people go to Walmart.
Right. And it does stimulate the economy, which is great, but
to an extent. To an extent, because like 90% of where Walmart buys their crap from
isn't here.
Yeah, exactly. It's in China. So,
I mean, they are making strides to make it in America, but they're still.
And those, how the little Chinese kids they work really hard to put that stuff together that you buy at Walmart, and but they can only work 20 hours a week because otherwise China won't give them their earned income credit. Well, wait a minute, it doesn't exist in other countries because other countries have more sense than we do. Ugh.
Right.
Well, I mean, they don't have cents. They have different kind of currency, but you get it.
Yeah. They have yen.
They have more yen than we have cents. I love our conversations. It's so zen.
Yes,
just to keep rhyming.
I think that honestly, and I don't know, Tops obviously has filed bankruptcy, right?
Yep.
Could you imagine if they could be like, all right, let's just get a couple pallets of TVs during tax time?
Yeah,
They earn income credit. We wouldn't have to file bankruptcy because you imagine that's a local business that's going out of business, or at least filing bankruptcy so they can restructure.
Yeah, what do they spend their money on? You could put a, like I said, electronic department back there,
Yeah.
tattoo shop.
Yeah.
You know, piercing.
That is what our area has the biggest of.
Smokes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you put a smoke
Oh,
shop in Tops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Smoking,
Right
tattoos.
back in the black, baby.
I think that grocery stores in general need to actually just bring back what they had in like the 40s and the 60s. Like there was a bar in the back, so mom would go grocery shopping, or transgender dad
Right.
could go grocery shopping, and transgender mom, could go to the back of.
Correct.
I grew up in a house like that. My dad was doing taxes, and he wasn't too handy, and you know what I mean. He did certain things, but my mom was the one roofing and siding the house. So it was a very, very, very modern
Right.
type of family. Like masculine mother, feminine father, and then like they have a playpen. Like they had a playpen near the bar, so the dad could turn around and be like, kids are fine. They're playing with the toys. It's like the dentist's office. You know what I mean? Except there's a bar there.
Right.
Like, they're drinking booze. Mom's grocery shopping. Kids are playing.
The family was together though.
Exactly. Everybody was together.
Everybody
They were
was
under
together.
the same house, and it was under the same roof. It was
absolutely.
good family fun to go grocery shopping. You can't do that anymore. Can't smoke at work. I don't even smoke, but like shit, like that's, I don't know. We could go off on a tangent all day about like just how shitty
Things
our
have
society's
changed.
become.
Yeah.
And we can spin it all back to the fact that people don't have to work hard for money because they can just have a baby, or they can
Right.
tell
No,
their
no,
boss
they
to
can-
cut their hours down.
Yeah, and then they can walk down the street on their day off. Which is like 4 out of 7 days is their day off. They can walk down the street trailing their 9 kids on a Red Ryder wagon while they drink their Colt 40 out of a brown paper bag because nobody seems to care about you drinking on the street though.
Anymore, yeah.
But you can't drink at a grocery store, God forbid.
Right.
But so I just realized the way we redone our method, I have no way of telling how long we've been talking for. So, but I think this is a good way to segue, and we'll come back here after a brief message from today's sponsor. Apparently, it is Murphy's Stout. It is delicious. So, stay tuned, guys, and we'll see you here in just a second. Audio's off.